Re-listening to Susumu Hirasawa, I realized where he came in most handy in my life, and that was when I was in school. I'll listen to his music while studying, and somehow I'll always retain the information really well. I read somewhere that Hirasawa uses certain sounds in his music that enhance memory, and I could definitely testify to that. If you aren't studying, then his music can also be useful when you read or write. A lot of people, and myself included, listen to Hirasawa while reading Berserk. The music not only captures the mood, but also keeps you alerted and focused. In this video, I'll be going over the best songs to study or read with. These selected songs aren't overly loud or distracting, but not so slow that you'll fall asleep. They are the perfect balance of the two. I'll start with Susumu's Shun albums, which are all great to study to, with the exception of Conditioning Cycle, which might be a little too distracting for some people. I used to play Shun on late nights, and would really give me that extra push that I needed. Also a little bit of a mindset that I was going insane, but that's to be expected too. Location works for me, but some parts of it could be a little distracting for some people. Highlights I'll add are Table Beat, both versions, all Kunmei songs, which are all great, and they have this relaxing ambient sound. I especially like Kunmei 4, which speeds things up with a relaxing and empowering sound, keep you going when you're in the mindset of giving up. Marcellus Adagio is also perfect because it's a slow burn that steadily gets faster. The Landscapes album is actually pretty perfect because there's no words and it's very relaxing and ambient. This is probably the best type of music to study to. Next, I found myself listening to a lot of P Model, not the punk rock stuff, but more so Perspective style and going forward. The Perspective album is a great study because it's interesting yet mellow. I really like Perspective 1 and 2 on that album. whole Crocodile album is also a great study album, and is similar in style to Perspective, but with catchier tracks. It's just mellow, yet not too mellow to be perfect for studying and reading. On the Crocodile album, I like the first song, Crocodile. And I especially love the third song, Dance SCUBA, which has a wonderful, hopeful sound and is interesting but mellow enough not to be distracting. Then there's Cyborg, which speeds things up. Then there's the fun and interesting Leak, this version being more mellow than Hirasawa's, and it's just so perfect. Next we have the song War, which is also magic and will drive you with its mellow, hope-inspired beat. Hourglass is a little too distracting, so you could skip that one. Then there's Piper, which is nice and mellow and interesting and perfect for studying. Next is a favorite of mine, the album SCUBA, which is more energetic and catchier than the other two albums, and still great for studying. The excellent song Frozen Beach will guide your mind on the right path of knowledge. Boat while being an awesome song is too energetic and distracting to be study-worthy. The third track, Seven Joint Man, makes an excellent study song as well. Then there's Ahoya 2 or Good Morning 2, which is perfect as well with its low-key, catchy, and inspiring sound with that deep sound I swear increases memory function. Next on the album is an all-time favorite study song of mine. It's titled Looping Opposition. It's very interesting, catchy, and dark. But when you were up late knocking out those last pages, ordering insanity, yet fighting on. Looping Opposition was my go-to. It must have had some kind of cognitive enhancing ability as well. The seventh song is Fish Song, which is another genius track and reason why I love this album so much. It's hopeful, catchy, interesting, and the right balance of speed, yet keeps your focus, and it's not distracting. SCUBA Recycled is another beautiful song. It's calm and peaceful and won't distract you, but just drift off into a better world. I sometimes debate whether or not I like SCUBA Recycled more than the original album, because there's some really great tracks on here. Next is Harmonia from the One Pattern album. This song also helped me a lot. It's simple yet interesting and not distracting. And for fun, I'll also add Solid Air Dance, a rare gem I found that reminds me of looping opposition, with more of a kick, and I just love the mysterious sounds that play throughout the background. What ends up happening a lot when you study is your mind is so focused on the material that you are looking at, it doesn't notice the music, but your subconscious hears the music. It gets a rush from it, which in turn improves your brain activity and memory. So now for the best Susumu Hirasawa songs to study and read to. We'll start with the song Island Door, which is pretty perfect because it's long, quiet, interesting, and slowly builds up in speed. It's also not distracting and keeps you focused while also keeping your interest because of how amazing the song is. Love Song is also great too because it's slow-paced yet emotional and interesting enough to keep you awake. One thing to keep in mind is I'm not just choosing slow songs. The song cannot be so mellow that you fall asleep listening to it. Holy Delay is another favorite of mine. It has a very soothing, uplifting sound as if you were descending into a new world. The song slowly builds up and remains interesting, and is the perfect song to feed your subconscious. The song Ogasama Count 1000 is a gem that I found a few years ago on YouTube. It was released for free by Susumu Hirasawa and uploaded on SoundCloud on April 2nd, 2016 in order to express thanks to his fans for celebrating his birthday. This song is so beautiful and relaxing. It's soothing, consistent, and 22-minute long length make it perfect for reading and studying. And I will admit that I do love looking at that moss-covered fishing beach while I listen to this. And I hope to go to that place one day. Keeping with the metal stuff, I'll also definitely put Ghost Bridges on here, as it's interesting and mellow, yet slowly builds up and is not distracting. I'll also add Mermaid Song, and both versions are great. It has the perfect sound of descending into the ocean, as if you were diving into your studies. Also, if you're reading Berserk, it's great for that really long boat part. Gemini is another perfect song as well, with Susumu's soft voice and calming melody. Skeleton Coast Park is another great one for its booming, triumphant yet not overbearing sound. Also both Moontime and Dark Side of the Moon, for those late nights studying under the moon. Both are empowering and slower paced, and they're not that distracting. For a faster paced song, Sailing Ship 108 works really well. It's catchy, upbeat, and cheerful. I'll also have to put Sailor Mal on here, but save it for when things get serious and you need to pick up the pace. Its fast-paced and riveting beat is sure to help you. Sniper is also fast-paced and serious, for when your brain needs to speed up. I once played this on repeat while I was studying at lightning speed and focus. Siam Nights I'll also include for its soothing yet focused and interesting sound. As for Susumu's recent albums, I'll add Planet Home, for when you are tired and you need something faster yet not distracting. I'll also add that I love Susumu's Human Lay on the same album is also a great choice for when you need a faster song for extra energy. In the Square is another great one, pleasant and will not ruin your focus. The Griddle is also a really good one too, and worked very well for me. I'll also put P Model's song Julia Bird on here, because it's relaxing and laid back. Julia Bird Remix is also great and probably better. It's great for studying because it has less words than the original, and that shun type of sound to it. It's very ambient, so you could just let it continue to play as you work. Always remember that when it comes to studying, it's all about repetition. You don't need to be a genius to pass any test, and don't ever have the mindset that says you aren't smart enough. All it takes is repetition, and no feat is impossible, as long as you put the time and repetitions into it. I myself am terrible at retaining information, so I made up for that with repetition and focus. Once you get into the focus state, then you are golden. But it's not always easy to get into that mind state. Green tea and caffeine are also recommended to help you get into that focus state. But nothing works better than Susumu Hirasawa's music. And the funny thing is, when I tried studying to other types of music, it never worked the same. Only Susumu Hirasawa's music worked for me. And one of the many reasons I swear his music is beyond music. Anyway, once again, thank you for listening. And I would love to hear what methods you use to help with studying and focus.